What's good, YouTube? This is the Yu-Gi-Oh Collector here, 6741, and this is my other video that shows all of the mangas that I have. And we'll start with the GX mangas, and as you can see, I have their American version books alongside their counterpart Japanese version books. As you can see, they're slightly smaller, but it's the same picture for the GX mangas. And I believe the cards that are from it, I believe Book 1 gave us Light and Darkness Dragon. Book 2 gave us Thunder King Ryo. Book 3 gave us Wing Karibo at level 9. Book 4 gave us Absolute Zero. Book 5 gave us Dark Lord Desire. Book 6 gave us E-Hero the Shining. Book 7 gave us the Blizzard's Princess. Book 8 gave us that Royd, I forget what his full name is, but he's a 4,000 beater. And we're waiting for the American Book 9 that gives us E-Hero Escudida, if I'm pronouncing his name right, which is the Elemental Hero plus a Dark Monster to make his fusion. Now we will be getting the English book in August, so that's why the empty space is there for him. Then we move on to our 5D books. We have Dark Highlander that came out of Book 1 and Catapult Warrior that came out of Book 2. And in Book 3 has an Infernity monster, I believe. His name is Infernity's General. The English 5D Book 3 will be hitting June 5th, I believe. And then we have our Zeal mangas. Zeal manga number 1 will actually hit the same day as 5D number 3 has, which will be June the 5th. Now Zeal number 2, I have no clue when they'll release that, but in Zeal book 1 we got Kashikoshi Dragon, which was a rank 4 Dragon Exceed, and book 2 gave us number 50, the Black Horn, which was a giant pirate ship with the number 50 in its sail, and believe it or not, it was a plant monster, which is weird. Then I have my Yu-Gi-Oh! R mangas. Manga 3 gave us Gores, Emissary of Darkness. Book 4 gave us Angel number 7. And Book 5 gave us Alucard. I forget the rest of his name. And then we have our regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Mangas. I believe this was partially Duelist Kingdom and Into Battle City. And then the last one is the Millennium World book. So that is my manga collection of the English and Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh! Mangas that I have read. Book 2 of the 5D, I'm still currently reading that. That's why it's not wrapped in plastic. And when I wrap it in plastic, I will frame it on the wall with the rest of them that are in plastic. And of course all the Japanese mangas, of course I cannot read Japanese kanji, so all of those books were elsewhere in a separate pile in my room, safe kept away. That's why they're still clean and neat. And I'll just be making room for next books. I do believe they're making a 5D book number 4 that's coming out sometime in May. No information on the new card that's going to come out of it, but as soon as it hits, I will be trying to get it. So yeah, that's my manga collection of all the little books that I read. The next video I'm going to do is on my Weekly Jump and V-Jump collection. That's where I get a lot of my promos that I've gotten over time. And I will do what is called the Value Book collection. I don't have very many of those, but I will mix it with all of the video game strategy guide Yu-Gi-Oh! Books that I have gotten over the years. Because believe it or not, the Tag Force 1 through 6 has strategy guides for them. And even the Dual Terminals have strategy guides. And I have those, and I will showcase them in the next video. So you will see one of my biggest secrets on how I obtain so many Japanese cards and how I'm able to practice with those combos and certain cards and how you notice how I do not use proxies. How most people get the back of a card or get a piece of paper and write the name down of a card. No, if I have to use a card that I don't officially own from the American side, I'll use a Japanese card. Those are my proxies because it's technically still a card. And it's technically still useful. You just have to decipher its meaning. You have to translate what it says. Luckily, I have a friend of mine who reads Japanese kanji, and he is my translator. So next time I'm dueling and someone wants to get a ruling on a Japanese printed card, that's how I will play my game that way. Because when I got Absolute Zero and The Shining, I was testing those cards before they were released in English. And believe it or not, people still are shocked that I have all these books. And it's still a spectacle to see, because I also tested the Kashikoshi Dragon that came out of Zeal #1. I haven't tested Blackcorn #50. I haven't tested that. And I don't have a need to test the Infernity's General, because I don't run an Infernity's deck. I kind of forget what his effect is right now, but I'll have to read up on it. So yeah. So my next video will be on my Weekly Jump and V-Jump books, because they're still in production where I can still buy those. Because the next V-Jump promo, I believe, is another Exceeds monster and another number card. I believe it's number 6 will be the next promo card. And when I get that card, I will be doing a video on it so people can see it. Because it's another number, and it will be the lowest number. Because before, Japan had the lowest number, which was number 7, the Lucky Strike. But now we're going to receive that card in Galactic Overlord as the OCG exclusive that's being changed over from Japan. And they're also giving us number 11, the Big Eye, which I believe was the better rank 7 of the Exceeds. I don't see how far Lucky Stripe is going to go, because it takes 3 level 7s to make his stack, and he starts off at 700 attack and 700 defense, which is very, very low. But his whole effect relies on dice, so it's all about a chance game. So I'll pass on Lucky Stripe as playing him, but I will collect him, and I'll put him in the mass big Yu-Gi-Oh folder as I have in some of my earlier videos. And so go ahead and please thumbs up this video if you like it, and rate, comment, subscribe to my channel if you're new to my channel. If you guys want me to cover any information about certain cards or certain mangas or whatever else that you've seen on my channel, please feel free to drop me a line through Facebook or leave me a comment through the YouTube setup. Feel free to say what's on your mind. Just make sure you keep it clean, because I don't really try to do a whole lot of cussing and profanity on my channel. I know X-Saber Wayne 10 kind of slips of the tongue when he is shooting my video. I want to keep it clean, because I don't have a need to cuss and be profane, just use profanity on my channel. It's not really necessary, because I'm a little bit bigger than that, and I can still get my point across without cussing every 5 seconds. So yeah, this video is not going to be as long as my video game video was, because I don't have a lot of mangas, but it's still cool to see that people do read a lot, and I collect a lot. I'll try to see if I can find Yu-Gi-Oh! R #1 and 2, but the Japanese versions were harder to find. I know they exist in English. I might just get the English one just so I can read them, because I want to read the stories. As far as the Duelist Kingdom and Battle City and the Millennium World, they're pretty much all the same from the anime. So that was another reason why I didn't really jump into those. The R series was definitely a totally different story of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Branch. So I will be trying to read up on that. The GX manga, I have to say, in my opinion, was better than the anime. Way better. Because you got to see the characters play totally different decks from what they played in the cartoon series. And, I mean, from Jaden running from Elemental Heroes to Masked Heroes, and then you saw Astro Phoenix go from Destiny heroes to Vision heroes. We saw Chaz go from running his Chthonian combo in the series, from the XYZ dragons and all of that, to the standard dragons, which was really good. Bastion ran a zombie style combo instead of running his Hydrogeddons and whatnot. Cyrus still runs his roids, but he runs them somewhat better. Lexus was not running her little cyber angel, her cyber tutu and Ed 12 cyber or whatnot. She was running a whole different style. Another character, Miss Reggie, she was running a fairy combo, which was pretty good. And of course, Zane was running his cyber dragons and whatnot. Then Anarchist Rhodes, Alexis's older brother, he was running a whole sphere kind of strategy, which was very, very different. And then book 9 is actually a backstory to the main guy who actually gave Jaden his elemental hero deck when he was very, very young. Because if you recall, Yugi bumped into him in the park and gave him the winged Karibo right before Jaden registered at the Duel Academy applicants. But in the manga story, it shows that that guy actually gave Jaden the winged Karibo when he was very, very young. And I forget the young man's name right now. His name escapes me. But it shows the true backstory on the elemental heroes. So yeah, read up on the mangas and you'll learn that history. The GX series, the 5D series is very, very different than the manga because it tells a deeper story. It actually shows the 4 main characters here. They really didn't know each other as we saw them as Team Satisfaction. The manga series tells a completely different story, and how Akiza didn't become a turbo duelist until towards the end of the 3rd season when they did the WRGP, when they played Team Ragnarok and Team Unicorn. She actually turbo dueled very early in this series, and she has history with Sherry, which is very, very different. And I like that. So I'm reading that now and found out they both went to school together at another academy, and they both have psychic dueling abilities. And so yes, Sherry and Sherry and Akiza both share history together. So yeah, read up on these mangas and get the backstory of the series of the 5Ds. I believe it was a little bit better than the anime. The anime of 5Ds was good, but I do believe that the manga does tell a deeper story. Now, when part 3 comes out in English, I will be able to read that, so I can discover more about the past of the 4 here in the picture, and possibly see how they may have started the Team Satisfaction in the series. So, other than that, interesting. And for the Zeal, so far it's kind of like the anime from what we've all seen. And part 2 of the book is a lot like the anime, where it shows Kaito becoming the numbers hunter, and it shows a lot of him hunting other duelists to get the number cards, and it also showed that famous match between him and Yuma when he nearly beat Yuma with the Galaxy Ice Photon Dragon. But the only thing that's different about it is that, as you can see, Yuma... I'm filming! Give me a minute! He was in this outfit, but in the manga, he was in his school uniform. So, as you can hear, my mother is calling me for whatever reason. So I'm going to cut my video down, and I'm almost to my 15-minute mark. So yeah, that is my manga collection. So this is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Collector 6741. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, YouTube. And that is all of my books. And yes, reading is good for your brain. Knowledge is power. Peace out, YouTube.